The tortoise said with fear, "Tell me honestly, while I was gone, you both didn't open that door, did you?" Yug and Abhimanyu did not respond. They were only staring at each other silently. The tortoise asked again, "What happened? Why are you both looking at each other like that? Why are you not answering me? Tell me, you didn't open the room where the Yakshini is locked, did you?" Abhimanyu stammered and said, "Friend, the truth is, by mistake, that door opened because of us." As soon as Abhimanyu said this, the tortoise stuttered, "What did you just say? You call this a mistake? You knew that the Yakshini is locked inside that room, and still you opened it. Why?" Yug first looked at the frightened face of the tortoise, then at Abhimanyu, and suddenly burst into laughter. Abhimanyu also laughed with him. The tortoise, surprised, asked, "What happened? Why are you both laughing? We are in such a big problem here, and you two are laughing." Yug laughed and said, "If not laugh, then what else? Abhimanyu was only fooling you, and you actually got fooled." The tortoise opened his mouth wide and asked, "What do you mean?" Yug pointed toward the opposite door and said, "The knocking sound is not coming from the upstairs room, it's coming from this front door. Look there." The tortoise looked at the door and said, "You scared me to death, man. Who makes such jokes? I almost lost my life." Abhimanyu laughed and said, "Your real fear will begin only when the Yakshini actually comes out. Now go, quickly open the door." The tortoise shook his head. "No way, I'm not opening the door. Who knows who it could be at this hour? And on top of that, there's no light." Abhimanyu stood up. "You coward, looks like I'll have to open it myself." He went to the door and pulled it open. Outside stood Kair, completely drenched in water, holding a polythene bag with something inside. Kair angrily said, "What's this? Why did you take so long to open the door? I've been knocking for ages." Abhimanyu let him inside and said, "Nothing. All this was just because of the tortoise." The tortoise got happy seeing Kair. "You came. I thought you wouldn't." Kair replied, "How could I not? Can rain ever stop me? Remember that poem? Yes. There's a wish that I no longer have wishes. No rain can make me cry now. Clouds may pour in her courtyard, but never with hatred." Abhimanyu clapped. "Wow, wow." Yag noticed, "Your clothes are soaked. If you stay like this, you'll catch a cold. Change into some dry clothes. I have some in my bag." Kair refused. "No, I'll change at home." Abhimanyu interrupted. "No one is going home tonight. We all stay here. I've already arranged everything." He handed his polythene bag to Abhimanyu, who opened it and found food packets and bottles of whiskey and water. Abhimanyu asked, "Where did you bring all this from?" Kair replied, "That's why I got late. The food is from Bindu. She specially sent it for Yug. You know how much she cares for him since childhood." The tortoise felt sad. "So Bindu only sent food for Yug, not us?" Kair smiled. "Of course she sent for all of us too. And I thought if we only eat food it won't be fun, so I also got something to drink." Yug frowned. "Drink? What do you mean?" "Whiskey, my friend," said Kair. Yug shook his head. "I don't drink." Kair widened his eyes. "What? You live in the city and don't drink?" Yug replied calmly. "Not everyone in the city drinks. I don't drink or smoke anything. It affects health." The tortoise interrupted. "Oh, wise man, if you don't drink, don't give us lectures. We know what's good for us. I'll drink your share too, just like I did Kaya's share of cleaning." Everyone laughed. Later, Kaya changed clothes, but there was still no electricity because a big short circuit had happened in the village. Rumors said a storm was coming that night, with heavy rain like never before. The tortoise panicked. "Close all the windows and doors of this graveyard mansion, otherwise, who knows what might enter." Abhimanyu teased. "So we will close everything and you'll relax here, right?" The tortoise pleaded. "You know I'm scared of darkness. Please, you two do it." Yug sighed. "Come, Abhimanyu, let's do it. He'll never do it himself." By then, it was 10 at night. Rain was pouring heavily outside. The chandelier lamps filled the mansion with dim yellow light. The four sat under it with food and drinks. The tortoise said eagerly, "Open the food quickly, I'm starving." Kair opened the boxes and the aroma spread everywhere. Yug sniffed. "Wow, smells amazing." Kair smiled. "Of course, my Bindu made it. This is Jado, a famous dish from Meghalaya made with red rice and chicken. First, a paste of green chili, onion, ginger, turmeric, black pepper, and bay leaves is made, then mixed with meat, and finally with rice." The tortoise teased, "See Yug Bindu's effect. He even knows how Jado is cooked. Perfect husband material already." Then Kair revealed another dish, Do Neiyong, a pork curry cooked with sesame seeds. Yug interrupted, This one is Nakambichi, a soup made from dried fish, fried and boiled with lots of chilies. Kair was surprised. How do you know? Yug said angrily, My mother used to feed me this in childhood. Abhimanyu suddenly said, But you brought only non veg? Don't you know in haunted places, eating meat increases the hunger of spirits? And remember, the Yakshini is locked upstairs. Kair cut him short. Oh, please stop your paranormal nonsense. The tortoise interrupted. Enough! Don't spoil my food mood. Let me drink and forget the fear. They ate and drank. By 3 in the morning, everyone was drunk and asleep. Abhimanyu, the tortoise, and Kair on the floor, while Yug slept on the sofa. In his sleep, Yug dreamt of the day his father left him at boarding school in Bangalore. His father, with tears in his eyes, had said, Son, don't hate me. It wasn't my decision, it was your mother's. She never listens to anyone. Little Yug had cried, Papa, don't leave me here. I want to stay with you. His father replied, I'm helpless. You must learn to live alone. Forgive me, I'm not a good father. Yug cried loudly. No, Papa, you are the best father. It's only Ma who is bad. I'll never forgive her. His father walked away, leaving Yug in tears, calling again and again, Papa, don't go. Please stay. Yug woke up from the dream, his throat dry. He picked up a water bottle to drink. Suddenly he heard a voice. Yug, my son. Oh, Yug, my son. Yug froze. Whose voice is this? We are only four here, and the others are sleeping. Then who is calling me? Am I just hearing things? The voice came again, clearer. Yug, my son. Oh, Yug, my son. He whispered to himself. No, this is not my imagination. This voice, it's familiar. Yes, it's my father's voice. And so begins the story of the Yakshini. The Yakshini is a fire. The Yakshini is your nightmare.